everyone, welcome back to another video with Arduino. Today what we're going to be doing is creating these printed circuit boards using an online PCB creator. And we're going to walk through those steps and how you could potentially get your own circuit boards designed and shipped to you for free. Alright, so the first step, what you're going to want to do is navigate to Easy EDA. That's the name of the link. You can see this is my account over here. You can create an account and then you're going to click Design Online, the standard edition. And then what you're going to do is New, and then you're going to create a new schematic. Okay, so here's actually the schematic for this design. I'm going to speak about more in detail about how we can get each of these components, but if you are able to locate these components on your own and can create the diagram by yourself, then you can just skip these next few parts where I talk about how to create this schematic. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the different components, how we can create it. So what we have here is one of the components. These do have different complex names, so I will put them on the screen now. And these will also be in the description or the pinned comment, whichever. We're going to search this component up. It should be one result. When you click it, you can press place. Left click allows you to drop it, and then right click allows you to get rid of it. I'm going to right click on this and press delete because I don't need it anymore. And then our second component is this one. It's an antenna and it's going to be important in its connection. We're going back to the library, paste this here. And instead of all of these different ones, instead we're going to go to user contributed, which we are in already. And then we're going to go with this result. Right click again, this should be good. All right, so now there's a few more components we need to add. The components I had before weren't exactly what you're supposed to type in, so I just updated it. You should see this in GLCPCB assembled. You want to click this, press it down. You want to do this for the rest of them. This is going to be a 47 ohm resistor, which will allow us to complete the circuit in our printed circuit board. This should also be in the assembled section. And one last thing, this is another component that we're going to be adding. And when you add it, it should be this one. I'm going to place this, which is the LED. And now let's connect everything together. Okay, now that we have all of our components here, it's time to start assembling. We have our main component here. What we want to do is connect this from one you see here. This is going to be connection from LA. And we're going to bring this around and we're going to connect this to 8 over here, which is LB. Then we're going to start dealing with C1. Oops. Which we're going to place in the middle around here. Right here, and then our LED over here. There's not a specific, I guess, way that you connect all of these wires together, but we're going to starting off from number 7. It's going to consist, I guess, of 2 layers in a sense, but we're going to start with this outer one, and this is going to connect to bring this down so that it's aligned. Same thing with this. And then from here, we're going to, let's go to place wire, one from here to this, then from this to this. And now this should complete our schematic. You can adjust as necessary, but that's not very important. And now we're going to move on to our actual PCB. Okay, so here we have our schematic again. What we're going to do is we're going to convert it to a PCB, but first we have to save it. And then in doing so, it should be saved like this. Convert the schematic to PCB, and we're going to press no, keep going. Okay, so this is important. This is round rectangular. We're going to start X, start Y at 0. So we want our width to be 88.9 millimeters. These are the standard conventions for a business card, and then 50.8, and then you can play around with this. I'd recommend maybe something like 15. I don't know. So what we have here is the outline of the PCB business card. Looking back at it, I don't really like how curved these radiuses are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Tools, Set Board Outline, and then I can round rectangular. I can customize this to however I want. Maybe let's go 5. That looks a little bit better. Okay, now the idea is to put all these on the PCB card. This is the schematic that we created a little bit earlier. So let's do that right now. To flip it, we press R. Let's put that in there. Also, it would be best to prevent the these little lines you see here, these blue lines from touching. Or intersecting between these different points, just because it can get I guess more confusing, and also it I guess interrupts the different lines. So I'm gonna do that quickly. All right, this part's a little bit tricky, so it's important to pay attention. We want to go to root, auto route, and then we want to run it. It's going to take a while, so I'll just speed through this part. Okay, now what should happen is it's about 88%, and the reason why is because it can route the majority of it except for one of the connections. So we're just going to stop router here. We have a few connections, but essentially with routing, we're electronically connecting two different components. So with this one, what we want to do is use a wire. So we have our wires here. Make sure that you select one of the different I guess settings. So we want to make sure that's ignored. We want to go here, connect this to this, and then another thing is connecting this one to this one. And with that should be all of the necessary connections with routing and ensuring that your LED can light up and that you have a properly connected PCB. And now here comes the fun part, which is actually designing the PCB. So this one is my PCB that I created. I have my logo, my YouTube channel. Another thing that's very important to note is that these are the different layers. They're color coded. So you see this blue thing corresponds with this blue in the back. It's on purpose and it's meant to show the different layers of the PCB. So this is the bottom layer. The red is the top layer, and a lot of it is silk screen, which means that they're basically designs. Very, very important note, something that I messed up the first time I created this is make sure that you do not have copper on top of these wires. So if you want to do something like this, where I had the YouTube logo and I had the wires connecting to the LED, make sure it's silk screen, and you can ensure that it is by making sure it's set to the right setting. So I want to make sure that's top silk screen, just like the rest of my board. And so this ensures that the electricity can flow properly to this without being intercepted by copper, which can, I guess, obstruct the circuit. All right, so here is a QR code generator that I have. This is for free. You can enter in a website or whatever you want and then create and download the QR code. And then we're just going to
really quickly show how you can implement photos into the design. So what you want to do is you want to go to import. We want to import an image, and obviously want to insert an image. Oops. This is an image of an Arduino that I downloaded. And what we can do here looks a little bit weird, obviously, because yeah, it's Arduino, has different colors and stuff. With this, you're going to have to use like proportions. So you would divide the width. Well, I mean, it's a more of a process of guess and check. But essentially just shrink it down to whatever you're satisfied with. I don't know, maybe like 20. And then we make this like 30. I don't know, that looks pretty good. And we can put this here. Keep in mind that these will be in all a single color. Oops, I forgot to change this to the top silk layer. This indicates that this is more of a design. I'm going to show an example on my PCB card that I got. But essentially here we have a silk screen design kind of added on top in the white color. Make sure that you know this is not going to have every single detail. It's going to be basically going to look like this, where it's all the same color with a few open spots to indicate the corresponding image. But that's about how it's going to look. So yeah, essentially this is my final product. I know I already showed it. I'm just going back since I really like the design. You can add text by coming to this PCB toolbar. Should be over here. I think you can also get this over here. But you want to add some text, right? Like, this is my card. And also probably is a good idea to add it to the top silk layer. And these are some of the contacts that I put. I put these two in copper at the top layer, added a little bit of distinction. But yeah, this is my design. Get as creative as you want with it. And yeah, have fun. I'm going to create another section where I'm going to be talking about how you can submit your design and get everything approved for your grant.
Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video. You can see these are the printed circuit boards that I received based on my design. Please stay tuned, as in a few days I will be creating a video on how you can get your own design shipped to you and paid for free. And with that, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And I hope you enjoy.